Up at 5:30, she said, "Mom, we need a quote." And so I'm out walking at 6, and they're in the elevator shaft there quoting scripture. So I think you made an impact upon this hotel. It may never be the same. Some backslider may walk through and hear Acts 2:38 in the corner being quoted somewhere. So because there's some things that never die. It just keeps living on and on. I think the Bible said heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word is going to last forever. You can still quote Acts 2:38 when you get to heaven, you know. I don't know that we'll need it there, but it's just a good thing to have. Well, glad you're here. It's going to be a great, great day. I do want to give honor to all of our staff that's worked very hard. I would like to thank and honor Sister Lana Farnell that's worked so very hard. She's our executive assistant in the Sunday School Division, and she's worked hard to get your Dave and Buster tickets and everything that was done, the registration. Some of you have called her about the rooms, and she got your rooms changed over for you. So thanks for working with our team. And also I'd like to give honor to Brother Terry Marshall and his great staff, and what a great job they're doing. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen. Well, no further ado, I think it's almost time. Most of you know that today we'll be live streaming. And so if you want to send a text, something to your friends or family back at home, they could get the live stream of all of these games today. So, Brother Marshall, I think we're just about there. So, are you ready? Okay.
Thank you, Brother Cannon and Brother Carney. What a great word this morning. Thank each and every one of you. There's nothing like the body of Christ. But Bible quizzing is almost like a subset of that, because we're just bound together by a common bond, and love and appreciate each and every one of you. Do want to make one quick announcement. Brother Powers will be closing today at 4 p.m. He is located on the lower level in the Manchester room, which is just to the south, I believe we are. Trying to get my bearings, but yeah, he's down there. We'll be closing at 4, so if you need any materials today, this will be your last day at Nationals to purchase that. And without any further ado, we are calling our beginner team to come to the board, and then we are calling for Indiana 1 to come to the red and Arkansas 2 to come to the yellow.
No, I told them. They all know. They're coming in. All right. Good deal. Hey guys, can I tuck this wire under the chair so you don't have to trip on it? Mr. Marshall, where do I need to
seats. First come, first serve.
Do you know what you want? Do you know what you want? I'll get for you.
Yeah, I'll just get the chicken Caesar again.
You'll be live, so you can't be against social media. You'll be all over the country, so.
I know.
The very best Arkansas here in Swallow. There we go, here we go. Got it.
Like all of these things
Yeah, we're live streaming. It is. Do you want to say hi to somebody?
Hi, Chase. Hi, Dad. Am I watching?
Awesome.
Live streaming. Hello, America. Hello, North America.
She's eating breakfast.
Tell her I got to see her.
Okay, I'll send her to you.
All right, let's start off with the buzzer check, but let's go down the line if we may. So just red 1.
Red 1.
Red 2.
Red 2.
Red 3. Awesome.
Red 3.
Yellow 1.
Yellow 1. Yellow 2.
Just do yellow 3 for us. Good measure. Yellow 3.
Yellow 3.
Just like to make sure we're starting off the board.
Red.
Can you guys hear me okay? All right, we are set to begin quiz number 55, our first of 2 beginner division semifinals for round 1. This quiz between Indiana 1 and Arkansas 2. Quiz is ready? Question number 1. For 10 points question. Acts chapter 8 verse 36 says,
Red 2.
Interruption.
They were come to what? A certain water?
Time.
that is incorrect. This question was interrupted. It will be reread to Arkansas without interruption for 10 points question. Acts chapter 8 verse 36 says, see here is what?
Yellow 2.
Water? See, here's water.
That is correct.
I've got it.
Question number 2 is a quotation completion question for 10 points question. Others mocking.
Red 2.
Interruption.
Others mocking said these men are full of new wine.
That is correct. Question 3 for 10 points. Question. According to Acts chapter 9, verse 14, here,
Red 2,
Interruption.
Here he has what? Authority?
that is correct. Question 4 for 10 points. Question. Acts chapter 9, verse 11 refers to Saul.
Red 2,
Interruption.
Saul where? Saul of Tarsus?
That is correct. Question 5 for 10 points. Question. Acts chapter 5, verse 18 says, laid.
Red 2,
Interruption.
What? On the apostles? Hands?
That is incorrect. This question was interrupted. It will be reread to Arkansas without interruption for 10 points. Question. Acts chapter 5, verse 18 says, laid their hands on whom?
Yellow 2,
Laid their hands on the apostles?
That is correct. Question number 6 for 10 points. Question. Acts chapter 5, verse 19 refers to
Red 2,
Interruption.
The angel of who? The angel of the Lord?
That is incorrect. This question was interrupted. It will be reread to Arkansas without interruption for 10 points. Question. Acts chapter 5, verse 19 refers to what doors?
Yellow 2,
The prison doors?
That is correct. Question number 7 is a two-part question for 20 points. Question. Acts chapter 10, verse 8 states, when he had declared,
Red 1,
Interruption.
When he had declared what? He sent them where? And when he had declared all of these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa.
that is correct. Contest Arkansas, 60 seconds.
Working 38 years.
Okay, this contest is withdrawn. Question number 8 for 20 points. Question. Locate this verse and have
Red 1,
Interruption.
It hath seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him that he might receive his sight. Acts chapter 9, verse 12.
That is correct. Question number 9 for 20 points. Question. Simon, according to Acts chapter 10, verse 6, shall do.
Red 1,
Interruption.
Shall do what? He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do.
That is correct. Question number 10 for 20 points. Question. Locate the verse of study that contains the phrase cloven.
Red 1,
Interruption.
Cloven tongues. Acts chapter 2, verse 3.
That is correct. Question number 11 is a two-part question for 20 points. Question. Acts chapter 8, verse 6 says, gave heed.
Red, 1.
Interruption.
Gave heed unto what? Hearing and seeing what? Gave heed unto those things which Philip spake, hearing and seeing the miracles which he did.
That is correct. Contest Arkansas, 60 seconds. Okay, this contest is withdrawn. Timeout, Arkansas, 60 seconds. Time is called and we are ready for question number 12. For 20 points, question. Who, according to Acts chapter 5, verse 25, are standing?
Red, 1.
Interruption.
Are standing in the temple and teaching the people? The men whom you put in prison?
That is correct. Question number 13. Okay, that is 6 correct for Andrew. And we have time out at the end. We do have a 5-point foul on Indiana for communication that occurred after time was called. Time has been called and we are ready for question number 13. It is a 3-part question for 30 points. Question. Acts chapter 1 verse 5 records John.
Yellow, 2.
Interruption.
Truly baptized with what? Water?
That is incorrect. This question was interrupted. It will be reread to Indiana without interruption. It's a 3-part question for 30 points. Question. Acts chapter 1 verse 5 records, John truly baptized with what, but ye shall be baptized with what, when?
Red, 3.
For John, who we baptized with water, but you shall be baptized with the Holy Ghost not many days hence.
That's correct. Question number 14 is a quotation completion question for 30 points. Question. 400.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
For unclean spirits, crying with loud voice, come out of many that were possessed of them, and many taken with palsies and out and lame were healed.
Time.
That is correct. Timeout, Indiana, 60 seconds. Time is called and we are ready for question number 15. It is a three-part question for 30 points. Question. According to Acts chapter 1 verse 10, while they did what as...
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
He did what? Behold, two men did what? And one looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up. Behold, two men stood by them, and one of them.
That is correct. And this quiz is closed. You may relax. We'll have the results of this quiz as soon as they're ready, and we'll be switching over to Junior Division for the next quiz.
You're gonna stay for senior nationals with me, right? Why not? I gotta get ready for you to come home. How do you think you changed? I was I told Tia, I can't believe I didn't bring Fred.
Supposed to go clean concession stand with her today at Jackson. She calls me up and says, "Can you come up here tonight? We had a chance playing the piano about to die."
I can't believe you. I was so mad at Tia.
Zach knows I'm here, but I didn't sing the end.
Second highest score quiz with 60 points was Macy Danby, and we do have another set of points. Highest quiz with 130 was Andrew Sterling. Good job. Yes, absolutely.
Coaches will need to stand by. Good shot. We'll put you on quick.
Ready? He'll put you on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll give them
All right. Well, Texas 4 and Mississippi 3. Don't know about y'all, but something about the little beginners and the way they quizzed that last quiz, that was phenomenal. Now we get to see the big kids do the same. So, job well done to our top 4 teams in the junior division. Let's do a buzzer check.
Red 2,
All right, this quiz is open. Question 1 is worth 10 points. Question, who, according to Acts chapter 2, verse 44,
red 1,
Interruption.
Were together and had all things common, and all that believed.
that is correct. Question 2 is worth 10 points. Question, Acts chapter 9, verse 2 says, let.
red 3,
Interruption.
Letters to where? Damascus.
That is correct. Question 3 is worth 10 points. Question, according to Acts chapter 9, verse 8,
red 2,
Interruption.
They led him by what? The hand.
that is correct. Question 4 is worth 10 points. Question, Acts chapter 2, verse 46,
yellow 1,
Interruption.
Two breaking what? Red.
that is incorrect. And this interrupted question will be reread to Texas 4 without interruption. Question, Acts chapter 2, verse 46 refers to singleness of what?
red 2,
Of heart.
That is correct. Question 5 is worth 10 points. Question, Acts chapter 8, verse 27 speaks.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Speaks of a man of where? Ethiopia?
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Texas 4 without interruption. Question. Acts chapter 8, verse 27 speaks of the queen of whom?
Red, 2.
Of the Ethiopians?
That is correct. Question 6 is a quotation completion question worth 10 points. Question for the
Red, 2.
Interruption.
For the promise is unto you and to your children and to all that are far off, even as many as the Lord our God shall call.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Mississippi 3 without interruption. Question, for these are not drunken.
Yellow, 2.
For these are not drunken as ye suppose, seeing it is but the third hour of the day.
That is correct. Question 7 is worth 20 points. Question, Acts chapter 9 verse 15 records.
Yellow, 2.
Interruption.
Records. Go that way, why? For he is a...
That is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Texas 4 without interruption. Question, Acts chapter 9 verse 15 records, he is a chosen vessel unto me to do what?
Red, 1.
To bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel.
That is correct. Have a timeout, Mississippi, 60 seconds. All right, time has been called. Question 8 is worth 20 points. Question, locate this verse. Therefore,
Red, 2.
Interruption.
Therefore let all the house of Israel know assuredly that God hath made that same Jesus whom ye crucified, whom God raised from the dead, even by him this man standing before you all. Acts chapter 2 verse 36.
that is incorrect, and this interrupted question will be reread to Mississippi 3 without interruption. Question, locate this verse. Therefore, let all the house of Israel know assuredly that God hath made that same Jesus whom ye have crucified, both Lord and Christ.
Yellow, 1.
Acts chapter 2 verse 36.
That is correct. Question 9 is worth 20 points. Question, when does Acts chapter 19 verse 5 say?
Red 1.
Interruption.
They were baptized when they heard this.
That is correct. Question 10 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question, Acts chapter 16 verse 27 states,
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
The keeper of what? Awaking out of what? The keeper of the prison awaking out of his sleep?
that is incorrect. And this interrupted two-part question will be reread to Texas 4 without interruption. Question, Acts chapter 16 verse 27 states, seeing what opened, he drew out what?
Red 2.
Seeing the prison doors open, he drew out a sword.
That is correct. Have a timeout. Mississippi 3, 60 seconds. All right, time has been called. Question 11 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question, quote verse 10 of Acts chapter 20.
Yellow 2.
Interruption.
28. Who also honored us with many honors, and when we departed, they lighted us with such things as were necessary.
That is correct. Question 12 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question, Acts chapter 1 verse 10 states, 2 men.
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
Two men did what in what? Two men stood by them in what apparel?
That is correct. Question 13 is a quotation completion question worth 30 points. Question, and
Red 2.
Interruption.
And a certain man, lame from his mother's womb, was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms of them that entered into the temple.
That is correct. We have a timeout. Texas 4, 60 seconds.
To get your message. I sent you a text.
question worth 30 points. Question. According to Acts chapter 4, verse 3, they laid what on them and put them in what unto what?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
For it was now what? And they laid hands on them and put them in hold until the next day, for it was not eventide.
That is correct. Question 15 is a two-part cross-reference question worth 30 points. Question. Acts chapter 4 verse 7 states, set them where? And Acts chapter 5 verse 27 states,
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Set them before whom? Set them in the midst. Set them before the council and the high priests.
Time.
that is correct. Have a contest. Texas 4, 60 seconds. This contest is withdrawn, and this quiz is closed. Let's give both teams a hand. Second place team was Mississippi 3. The winning team was Texas 4. Our second highest scoring individual with 65 points was Ava. And our highest scoring individual receiving a silver medal was Olivia. And Olivia.
Where's Moses?